There's a couple of things I do in seasons when I don't know what to do specifically. 50 Cent's got a line, I love it. It's like, don't get ready, stay ready. I love that line because at some point you're going to know. And essentially, there is always things to do. I'm going to get into what those things are later in the video because I believe I've narrowed it down to like a real specific list. I would never be making this video on this amount of sleep before, but it's because of these staples that I've put in previously that allow me to actually give me the energy, the motivation, or even the clarity of thinking to be able to be like, no, this is something that needs to take place. When I don't know what I'm doing or I don't know what I'm running towards, I think about what am I running away from. There's a great experiment where they put like this mouse in this sort of hamster wheel type thing, and they whiff the smell of cheese at the top of it. Really interesting experiment. They whiff the smell of cheese at the top of it, and obviously the mouse starts like running a bit quicker because it wants the cheese, right? However, on the other end, so on this end there's a bit of cheese, and then they took that cheese away, and on the other end they put the smell of a cat. They whiffed the smell of a cat into the cage with a mouse, right? And that mouse ran even quicker than it did with the cheese. Now there's a concept in psychology, I think, where this experiment comes from, and it's called loss aversion. We'd much rather not lose something than gain something. It's quite interesting. And I think it's such a powerful tool to tap into. Not all the time, but there's times where I believe in use what you've got. If you've only got the fuel of running away, knowing what you're running away from, use that right now. However, of course, with the objective to get to the point where you know what you're running towards. And this is the fuel that I tap into, not regularly. It's not ideal. I don't really want to be tapping into it all the time, but it's a powerful fuel. So as I said, in these seasons where you don't really know what to do, I truly believe, I've got a fly on me. I truly believe that thinking about what you're running away from, what is it you don't want to be? Who is it you don't want to be? Is there an old version of you that you don't want to be? What is this version of me that I'm running away from? What do they do? Get that list out. All right, cool. He doesn't go to the gym. He doesn't read his books. He doesn't write. He doesn't reflect on himself. He doesn't do a difficult thing each day. In fact, he goes like the easy route, the real easy route. And you can just reverse engineer that. All right, this guy does that. So I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. That then leads me on to the other thing I said about what to do in seasons when you don't really know what to do. And specifically, there's a couple. We have a body. It needs working on. If we don't work on it, it will degrade. Everything in the earth wants to come back to an equilibrium, which means everything is being pulled. There's like a directional, like gravitational force being pulled back, which is why every day we've got to wake up, do this. Next day, this. And then if we miss a couple of days, suddenly it feels like we're a little bit behind, because the truth is we are. There's like a gravitational pull back towards like equilibrium. And I don't want to get too sciencey. Hold on, let me get a sip. I've got a Pepsi Max on the go. I love these things, by the way. Fantastic. I'm not advocating like drinking like 20 a day, but 1 or 2 a day. This replaces my cold beer. I used to drink quite a bit of alcohol. I'd have a beer or a cocktail or something like a Copperberg, something like that. I'd have that quite often, but I don't drink anymore. So these sort of come in handy. The essence of this video is that you're not going to always know what you're doing, and when you don't know what you're doing, it's fine, but don't revert back to type and consider, what is it you're running away from? Especially when you don't know what you're running towards. There's always things to do. Fortunately or unfortunately, there are always things we can be doing, whether we know what to do or not. That's working on our body. We have a body, as I said, this being pulled, the gravitational pull back to equilibrium. We don't want to be at equilibrium. We want to be exceptional. We want to be lean, 6-pack, muscles, toned. And in order to do that, you cannot be at equilibrium, which means you need to work on your body. So the days that you don't want to go to the gym, they're going to pay dividends. Go in. Read him. I feel like I sound like a broken record sometimes, but reading books, they will change your life. There's not a problem on earth right now that there is not a book somebody has written that cannot contribute to helping you solve that problem. And I always find whenever I'm in a season of not knowing what I'm doing, most of the time it's because I'm in a season of not reading that much. A lot of the time when I wake up and I don't get those 10 pages in, my mind wanders. As soon as I get those 10 pages in, I feel like I've got this like clarity that I wouldn't have had previously. There's actually one that you may not have heard before, and that's becoming as good as you can at communicating. Now, I've found that across the board, whether it's operating my business, whether it's building my relationships, females, brothers, you name it, across the board, I found that the more I work on my communication skills and interpersonal social skills, the more joy I have in these sort of relationships, the more joy I have doing business, the more joy I have creating, the more joy I have in general. You can have deeper conversations. You can go deeper. It's almost like it's like a little key to unlocking like another level of life. It's like uh, unlocking or improving your communication skills, your ability to listen carefully, slowly listen to what people say, your ability to respond and not react, your ability to regulate your emotions and channel them and articulate what's going on in this big brain of ours, and being able to articulate it and take it from here to here perfectly in a way that can be perfectly understood by somebody is a skill that, as I said, whether you're in a season of knowing what you're doing or don't know what you're doing, that skill alone it will never do you any harm. Like, it will only support. Now, if you can do those three things every day, I can't guarantee it, but I can almost guarantee that purpose you'll feel pretty soon. That reason why of getting out of bed is probably going to come back. It can be horrible not knowing what to do. Specifically, I've got all of this energy. If you're like me, you're like a bundle of energy, but energy needs to be transferred. And if it's not transferred, it can be damaging to itself, right? And I found that sometimes previously, when I've had all of this energy before without anywhere to go, that's where I get on the beers. I don't know why I'm picking this up. It's not a beer, but but I get on the beers, I get on the alcohol, I get on the women, or I get on the whatever. And the thing that's allowed me to like not slip back into my old reality, my old life, I just feels like a completely different person. I don't even recognize that man or the boy that I speak about. But the only reason that stuff would happen is because I had all of this energy and I didn't really know where to transfer it or where to put it into. As I said, when these seasons are going to come along where you don't know what you're doing, you don't know why you're doing it, but there are things you can do. Go through that list. Set specific ones for yourself. But your body, your mind, and your communication skills, these three areas are going to be like, when you know what you're doing, you're going to use all three. So you may as well work on them while you don't know what you're doing, right? And that's how I see it. It was only a short one, relatively short today. Just wanted to touch base. I'm going to be throwing out a lot more presentation videos, going into sort of deep diving and stuff. I love that stuff. I hope you find value in it. I've got some films, big projects that are on the horizon that I can't wait to create. I'm a creator at heart. I absolutely love the process of creating anything, barbering, PTing, drawing a picture. I don't know whatever, anything. There's a creative process to. I'm in love with fighting. I love fight, not fighting like on the streets or whatever, but like my mixed martial arts, my jiu-jitsu, these things, because it's a creative process and solving problems in real time, and it's beautiful. It's an art. It's been an absolute pleasure. Just remember that when you're in seasons that you don't know what you're doing, there are always things to do, things that will give back, and do them, even when you don't know why you're doing it, because I can promise you they will pay dividends, certainly in the months to come, maybe even in the weeks to come, maybe even in the days to come if we're that consistent, right? I'll see you in a bit.